Hello, BookTube. It almost seems like I'm making one of this kind of video just about every week, but I'm blaming that on my disappearance at the end of the year and also my prolonged vacation up in Vermont. And the video that I'm talking about, of course, is a call for questions for Q&A, because we hit 12K, which I said forever would never happen on this channel, and it did, and I called for questions, and our question and answer videos are such a hoot. You people never run out of great questions to ask, and you don't seem to mind that I go off on tangents and digressions and rants when I'm answering them. They're a hoot to do. If they had degenerated over the years to the same handful of questions over and over again, as I have seen them do on the Q&As of other channels, then I wouldn't do them. I would just quietly, courteously discontinue the whole thing. But they don't. The questions are different and interesting every time. Even the repeat questions, the few repeat questions that we get are also fascinating because, as I always say, it's important to remember, those of us who are on BookTube, it's important to remember that new people are finding our channels all the time. And recovering old ground is important in that way. But then we hit 12.1. While I was still preparing to do the 12K answers, we hit 12.1. So we did that, and now we've hit 12.2. And as usual, when I hit a double or triple zero digit like that, I like to wait a while to make sure it's not just a fluke of the algorithm. But no, we are definitely in 12.2 territory. So that calls for another Q&A. So as usual, the drill is, if you have a question or many questions, try to keep it brief. Because keep in mind, I'm going to read every question out loud when I'm doing them. When I'm answering them, I'm going to read them out loud. If you leave a dissertation, it's going to be obnoxious. And also try not to lecture. No gotcha questions, no lectures, no nothing like that. Nobody has done that, and I don't know how long. But keep in mind, I'm not a tame booktuber. If you act like a jerk in your question, I will treat you like a jerk in front of my audience as soon as I answer. But that never happens, so I don't need to worry about it. And also, if your question is an extremely personal, targeted to you recommendation request for a book, I'm looking for a book on 16th century Spanish mercantile practice. Well, you can email me that question and I will answer it. I will answer to the best of my ability any question like that, but that has no general interest. So, try not to ask that kind of question is what I'm saying, but I end up answering them all anyway. So we'll do that. Leave your questions on this video. That's another piece of instruction. Or suggestion, rather. I can't instruct you to do anything. But another strong suggestion is I leave my personal email on every video that I make, much against the advice of bigger YouTubers who tell me not to do that. I leave my personal email on every video. That is not a dummy email. It does not lead to a merch store. It does not lead to a second cousin once removed who's covering my emails because I think I'm too important to do them. It's my inbox. And so, if you have a question or an email for me or anything else you want to talk to me about that's personal between the two of us, email me there. As I've said many times, and I've been a little bit of a softie on it, but I'm just going to start doing it. If you email me that kind of a question at any of the other email addresses that are out there for me, business emails like Open Letters Review or stevedonoghue.com or something like that, it's not that I'm going to write you back and say, why are you writing to me at this address when you have my personal email and I've asked you repeatedly to use it? Instead, I'm just going to ignore that. So you will just be sending those emails down a well. So don't do it, is what I'm saying. It would be one thing if I didn't give you any other way to contact me, but I do. So leave your questions on this video. If you have a question for the Q&A that we're going to do this coming weekend, do not email it to me and just say, oh, hey, I have a question for your next Q&A, because I won't remember to include it. I'm going to be looking at this comments field for questions. If you have questions, you have every other time. If this is the first time that you don't, no harm, no foul. But if you have questions, load them on here, and I will copy them all over onto a document and answer them this weekend. And as usual, I know I always joke about this, but as usual, the fact that we're even talking about 12.2K subscribers it's ridiculous. Yes, it's patently ridiculous, but I'm also incredibly grateful for all of you. That is just so nice. So if you want to do a Q&A this weekend, cue me up, and I will A you until your eyes cross on the weekend. Thank you, BookTube.